Are comic book villain movies really that much in demand? What do you guys think? Is it something that really needs to be a thing? Hey guys, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I want to talk about villain movies coming mostly to Sony and DCU, or Worlds of DC as they're calling it now. Now this is kind of an interesting topic. It's not unheard of to have a movie outside of the genre that features a bad guy or a villain or something along those lines. We've seen it since the birth of movies. But comic books and comic book movies are kind of a different thing. Usually you have your hero fights said villain. But is it kind of weird that a lot of these villains are now being featured without the hero to serve as their protagonist or antagonist in that relationship? Venom being offered next month by Sony is really the first current attempt at producing a villain type solo movie. Yes, you had Suicide Squad a couple years back, which I kind of guess got the ball rolling on this thing. But what is a Venom movie without Spider-Man? That's the question everybody's asking. And yes, there's numerous Venom movies Venom comics that are out there that do not feature Spider-Man. But in my opinion, a lot of these movies, and I'm counting the in production Black Adam, the Joker movies, that apparently we're getting a couple of those, and Venom, you need to have your villain face the hero first and then spin him off. I mean, it's really putting the cart before the horse. Does anybody really think they're a good idea? They're being made regardless. My opinion doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but box office numbers are what is going to matter. Word of mouth is what is going to matter. How do you feel about a Venom movie without Spider-Man? Does it look good to you? My opinion is Venom doesn't look even remotely good. Yes, I'm kind of a purist. Yes, I want to see my villain fight the hero, and then go ahead and spin him off. I mean, that's kind of what you should do. But I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan, and I will go see the movie, but I'm really not expecting much. I think Sony's management of the Spider-Man franchise is borderline appalling, but they can only do so much when they can't really integrate it into the MCU. So we're left with this pseudo origin story without the hero. In a perfect world, of course, I want to see the hero featured in it. Now, that being said, you also have the Joker movie, which, for Joker, he works better without the origin. You don't need an origin. You have multiple origins. I think Heath Ledger's performance illustrated that brilliantly. Joker's just not one. He's an enigma. To sit there and spell out why he is the way he is, that's not a movie I want to see. I don't really want to see it. And then, of course, Black Adam, which, according to an article just published in Collider by Adam Strickwood, the producers of Black Adam feel that a solo movie with that character is going to be a big vehicle for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't agree with that. I think The Rock, while he sells tickets, his solo efforts haven't been setting the world on fire. Jumanji, great. But once again, it's an ensemble cast. Recently, Skyscraper. Nobody went to see that. It was pretty much a box office bomb. You had his earlier movies where he was kind of taking over the mantle for Arnold Schwarzenegger, but then he kind of got a little more into the kid-friendly things. Like, once again, it's Moana which I love him in, also more about, Moana herself and less about Maui. So, I don't know. I personally feel Black Adam is more of a, oh, hey, Dwayne, we want you to headline a movie. Which character do you want to do? You can pick and we'll go ahead and make it. Sure, let's pick a villain that nobody in the mainstream really knows about other than comic book fans. And you're going to use that with no Shazam. You have Shazam coming out obviously next year in 2019. But who wanted a Black Adam movie? Now, don't get me wrong. I think villains in comic books are some of the best written that they've ever been. But you also have 30 plus years of history behind these villains featuring as the villain in hero books. A couple years back, they did a Sinestro series, lasted about 27 issues, 28 issues. I thought that was the best Lantern book out on the market during that time. It's a phenomenal book. Features a lot of mythology within the Green Lantern universe. But once again, you have a history with that character that comic book fans know. Would you watch a Sinestro movie if it just popped up on the screen? I don't think anybody really would. I would be there day one, of course. But you've got to look at the box office. You've got to look at the general movie-going public, and you've got to work within those confines. Once again, you can't put the cart before the horse. Get 3 Green Lantern movies, put him in as the bad. Want to spin him off later? Do it. Great. Awesome. Everybody knows who he is at that point. But a Black Adam movie is going to be a very obscure thing. I mean, there's a lot going on over at DC and their movie slate. And outside of Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam, it's kind of an unknown thing. There's a lot of turbulence with Batman right now because of Affleck, and Man of Steel 2 can't seem to get off the ground. But we're going ahead and throwing out all these villain movies, and Sony really can't play around with Spider-Man unless they want to break their current deal with MCU. So they have to use spin-off characters, villains, minor characters to bolster their film slate. I don't know. Yes, I'm going to go see Venom. I don't really want to see a movie without Spider-Man in it, but it's going to happen. Like I said, it's already set. But what do you guys think? Should there be villain movies before you really interact with the hero? What are your opinions about it? Am I misreading the situation? But I don't know. I'm a lifetime comic book fan. I'm a movie fan. Hulk's behind me, that kind of thing. But it's a tough thing. You notice you don't see the MCU saying, okay, we're gonna do a solo Red Skull movie. We're gonna do a solo, Abomination movie. I think the way they approach their heroes and villain dynamic is leagues better than anything DCU or Sony has done. But I want to hear what you guys think. Do villains need to be properly integrated into hero movies before they get their own spinoff? So go ahead, leave your comments. I'm very interested to get a conversation going. So if you get a chance, please, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, share, leave a comment. Love to hear what you got to say. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and I'll see you at the movies.